Hi, I'm Tim Bartz, Internet Sales Manager here at McArthur Ford in Salina, Kansas. And in this video, we have recorded, it was actually recorded during our live stream that we do this last Tuesday. So, you know, we do a live stream every Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Central, when we go over scheduling information, dealer news updates, recalls, and usually have a topic of the week and some other things. But more importantly, we answer your questions live, the community's questions. So we usually have about a couple hundred people in there each week that are watching this live and asking us questions about their order, or, you know, how they should order their vehicle and that kind of thing. And that's what we're here for, is to help you answer any questions. So if you want to join us live, and if you have any questions about scheduling, we can answer them live for you. Also, if you drop them down below, we'll try to get those responded as well. But feel free to come back next week. Again, Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Central, if you want to join us live and ask your question, and we can answer your individual question if it hasn't been answered in the past. So I hope you guys do enjoy this video, and I hope to see you next week. Okay, so this week we're going to talk about scheduling information. And, of course, just like each week, we'll go ahead and go through some of the different terminology and everything for you, so you kind of know what's going on there. So pull this up. Here we go. All right. So just like we usually talk about, so order banks are where dealers place a stock or retail orders. And so when we're talking about scheduling notes and information, we are talking about getting your order scheduled, and you order with a dealer and they place your order in the order bank. When you do place that order with a dealer for a custom order, it's called a retail order. A stock order is what dealers order to replenish their stock. If they have allocations, they don't have retail orders, they'll want to make sure they have stock orders in their system. Priority codes, gives a dealer gives each order a priority, anywhere from 10 to 19. 19 is a default. You can actually go down to 03 now, anywhere from 3 to 19. Stock ones are 20 to 80. You know, the default on that also is 80. But if everybody's is at the same, nobody really has any advantage over the other than the lower the better. So a retail will always be looked at before a stock one. Scheduling, which is what we're talking about here, and that's when Ford schedules an order for production dates in the future months. They usually do that on Thursdays. They usually give us information and notes on Monday nights, so we can share that with you on our Tuesday night live stream. Production dates, that is when Ford plans to build your vehicle or the order. Take that order and put that order and produce that. Allocation. Ford gives dealers allocations to schedule their orders. So dealer needs an allocation to schedule an order in the order bank. They won't be able to schedule that order without an allocation. A dealer earns allocations from their sales for each model year within their region. So they earn it. There's an allocation system based on your sales volume. You earn so many allocations. You can lose allocations based on how much inventory you have. So if they feel like, here's what you normally sell, but because of your inventory, you have enough to get through. That's where, like, we got 2 months where we didn't get any Maverick allocations because we had so many Mavericks coming in. That's why we didn't get any allocations. Constraints. That is when options may be in short supply or take longer to build. When the demand is higher than the capacity, which is the next one there, that's the planned production rate for a given motor trim option. Then that's where we have that constraint happening. Job 1 and 2, that's a production run within a model year. Sometimes they'll split it up in case they want to introduce something new, like they've done on the F-150 with the trimmer being introduced into Job 2, as well as that Pro Access tailgate. We've seen the California Special for the Mustang be introduced in Job 2, so they won't have to wait to the next model year. Balance out, that's the end of production or balancing out of a certain model or trim, and that means that they will not make any other orders after they've balanced out. There we go. There's all that information. So, all right. So let's get into scheduling. So first off, the 2024 model year Mustang. Now, also, I want to remind people, if you're watching this live with us, drop your comments down below, put @Sarah Davis. If you're watching the recorded version or the scheduling notes video that's separate from our live stream, then go ahead and drop those down there, and we'll get to them when we can. We try to get to those, you know, that evening and such, but sometimes things happen and with work and such, and we will try to get you responded as quickly as possible. All right, now For the Mustang, there's currently 961 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. The order banks are open up if you want to place a 2024 model year order. They are doing scheduling this week for production weeks, weeks of 4/1 through 4/25. So we're talking April production dates. Limited availability for the 644 option wheel, which is the 19 by 9 inch in the front and 19 by 9.5 in the rear. That's with the dark tarnished aluminum wheel. That's the staggered. You usually see that in the performance package, I believe. And then exhaust availability for the Night Pony package. Also for the 18 by 8 inch machine face aluminum with the high gloss ebony black painted pockets. That's standard on the 100A, 101A, 200A, and 201. So that's the one that's on your EcoBoost orders. Dark Horse handling package is also exhausted, which is funny because it just became back available. And I think everybody was waiting for that because that's what they wanted on their Dark Horse. Also the 19 by 8.5 Sinister Bronze painted wheel. That's your bronze appearance package wheel. That is also exhausted, as well as the 19 by 9 inch and the 19 by 9.5 in the rear carbonized gray paint aluminum wheel. Again, I think that's part of that performance package. So just to break down, I'm not going to do this on every vehicle, but forward planned capacity for the Mustang on the GT is 50%. Only 22% of those unscheduled orders are for the GT. So shouldn't that be a problem if you order GT to get it scheduled? Convertible capacity is 20%. 8% of the orders, unscheduled orders, are convertible. Again, should not take long to get a convertible scheduled either if you're in that boat. The GT performance package, 80 or 20% is the capacity. Unscheduled orders combines with about 14% of those. And then the Night Pony package, 8% is the capacity. The 15% of the unscheduled 961 are the Night Pony package. But since there's not that many, you should still be okay, but it might take you maybe an extra month to get scheduled. Now, the bronze appearance package is 5%, and only 1% of the unscheduled orders are the bronze appearance package, so you're good there. And the black painted roof, here's probably a constraint. 13% of is their capacity, but 41% of the orders want that black painted roof. I think that's part of the Night Pony package, which is why it's exhausted. So, yeah, so it's struggling to get scheduled there on that one. So, all right. Moving on to 24 model year Escape, currently 337 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. And then they are scheduling this week. Order banks are open up, by the way, if you want to place an order, even a plug-in hybrid, and a hybrid as well. And then production for this week is for the month of April. That's what they're scheduling for. I think, if I remember right, they're not scheduling hybrids this month. They are not. They're not scheduling hybrids this month. And most of their scheduling is going to be for the ST line and the Active. 45% for the Active, 39% for the ST line. And based on that, you want to kind of look at that because there's not that many orders for Active and ST line. They're doing good, really good there. In fact, this month ST line production is more than it normally is. So normally it's 35%, and this month they're doing 39%. So that's good there. So plug-in hybrid would be maybe any constraint. 7% is their capacity, and about 7% of their orders are for the plug-in. But with only 337, you should be okay there. But again, dealer needs an allocation. So plug-in hybrid allocations are separate from the Escape. A lot of times a dealer will get like 5 or 6 allocations for Escape, and then they'll actually break it down and say, of those, 1 is going to be plug-in hybrid or 2 is going to be plug-in hybrid. So again, if somebody has a plug-in hybrid, you'll need a plug-in hybrid allocation for that. All right, 24 model year Bronco Sport. The order banks are open up for all configurations for that. There's currently 249 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. 71% of those orders are for the Badlands, which is not getting scheduled this month or for April production, I should say. Their capacity is normally 17%, but it's 0% for this month. Or for April production, I should say. Freewheeling edition, their capacity is 3%. There's only 1% of the orders that have that. So if you're wanting that, probably won't take your dealership long to get you scheduled for that. They are scheduling this week for the weeks build weeks in April, April 1st through April 22nd. It says, actually, you know what's the other one said April 25th. So this one says the 22nd. So I'm wondering if job 2 is going to start for Bronco Sport, and they're at late April. So this is no scheduling for the Badlands until mid-March. And then exhausted availability for the convenience package, which is optional on the Big Bend, and the freewheeling. So if you do order a freewheeling, try to go with without the convenience package. If you really want it, you're just going to have to probably wait until May's production to get it scheduled. Tech package on the Outer Banks is also exhausted, which was doing okay, but not now. And then the tire, the all-season 225 65 R17 all-season tire is also exhausted too. So there you go. All right. Also, the black appearance package on the Big Ben is not scheduling this month either, or I should say for April production, and no Badlands and no convenience packages. So, all right. 24 model year Edge. There's currently 189 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. The order banks are closed. They are finishing out. They're balancing out Edge. So final balance out cleanup scheduling is this week. So if you don't get scheduled, you're not going to get an Edge. Try to find one at a dealer. They're scheduled for the production weeks of April 1st through April 22nd. And then ST has already been balanced out. Edge balance out is happening. Yeah. So 189 orders for them to schedule. Hopefully everybody gets theirs scheduled. So, all right. Let's see here. 24 model year Ranger, they rearranged this a little bit. There's currently 1,211 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. The order banks are open up if you want to place an order. They are not scheduling this week, though. So no notes in here because they're not scheduling. Next, 24 model year Bronco. There's currently only 4,099 unscheduled orders in the order bank. Order banks are open up for about all configurations except for the Heritage and Heritage Limited. They are closed. And then 95% of those 4,099 orders, that's 3,894, have the hard top as an option there. Not typical. Now, you'd say, well, that's over the 75% they're scheduling for their capacity right now. But if, let's say, that would mean that their capacity for a month is 6,000. Are they going to build more than that many, Broncos? Probably be all right if you have the hardtop on there. Sasquatch is also one that maybe be a little tight because there's about 64% of the orders that have the Sasquatch package on their order, which is about 2,600. Capacity is 35%. So that's something to take note of. That those would be the two things that would be a little bit. But I think you'll be all right from just depending on your dealership and everything. But I think you'll be all right on either one of those because let's say they plan to build 8,000 Broncos, which I don't remember what it is this month because they didn't tell us. But if it's 8,000, they could build all those all those hard tops because it's only 3,800, right? So there you go. All right, they are scheduled this week for the build weeks of April 1st through April 22nd. And then limit availability for the Heritage Limited as well as the hardtop. We just kind of mentioned that. It's just because it's kind of 95% of the orders, right? Also, it says Raptor orders will require a mix in the order bank of 70% optional beadlock and 30% standard wheel and 50-50 for the vinyl and leather. And then Heritage Limited will require a mix order bank of 95% two-door and 5% four-door. That's awesome. All right, there you go. And limited is one of those things. Every dealership is supposed to get one. We've gotten our one, so we won't have another one get scheduled. All right, next is the 24 model year Maverick. There's currently 14,302 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. The order banks are open up for all trim levels and all motors. Currently, there is, for hybrid, there's about 79% of the orders in the order bank have the hybrid motor chosen on their order, which is 11,299 of those. Capacity is 55%. So, and then on the XL, 65% of the orders are XL trim level. So that counts for about 9,296 of those orders. So capacity is 23%. So those are the two biggest constraints. Really nothing else except for like the hardtop, some of those other things. All right, cleanup scheduling this week, which means if a dealer has an allocation, they want to make sure they fulfill it as long as it can happen within the configuration that they're looking for. They're scheduling for the weeks of 4/1 through the weeks of 4/22. says, please note, XL availability is 21%. So it's now dropped from 23 to 21%. Limited availability for the XL. For the front wheel drive, first time I'm seeing that. It says 2-wheel LH. It says front drive, front wheel drive. So, and then it says black appearance package as well as limited availability. And then the splash guards, which don't put your splash guards on your order. Hopefully you guys have watched my videos and I've given you advice on that. Also exhaust availability on the hybrid, kind of makes sense. Spray and bed liner as well, which says is not available with it's not available with the luxury package because, yeah, watched yesterday's video, you'll know why. The modular drop-in liner is also exhaust availability, and the tonneau cover, hard trifold, and the tire that's available on the XL and XLT, the 225/65R17. So there you go. So lariat trim, you got a great chance of getting scheduled because that's looks like that's narrows that down. All right, not saying that's all. Some other people will get scheduled as well, but again, your dealer has to have allocations. This is cleanup scheduling, so they're trying to clean up any allocations that are still outstanding for dealers and get them scheduled. So that's what the cleanup scheduling means. 24 model year Explorer. There's currently 291 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. 24 model year order banks are closed, but the 25 model year order banks are open. They're doing cleanup scheduling on the Explorer. Production for the weeks of April 1st through April 25th. And then says limited availability for the base and ST line. Also limited availability for the 20-inch carbonized gray painted 10-spoke wheel that's the wheel that's on the Sport Appearance package for the XLT. Also the base and XLT wheel, the 18-inch 5-spoke sparkle silver painted aluminum wheel is also limited availability. Exhausted availability for the 20-inch premium painted aluminum wheel that's optional on the XLT 202A and the standard on the limited 300 and 301A. And also exhausted is the 21-inch bright machine face aluminum wheel, aluminum with the luster nickel painted pockets. That one's the standard wheel on the platinum. So there you go. No other notes on that. 24 model year Expedition. Currently 392 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. Not too many. Order banks are open up if you want to place that order. They are not scheduling this week. It says scheduling will resume until mid-March. So they're not going to be scheduled for the next couple of weeks on the Expedition. So 24 model year Mach-E. Currently 36 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. The order banks are open up for all trim levels, including the GT. They are not scheduling this week, but we'll have some news probably next week on some stuff for May production information and some great news on GT. That'll be the first month for GT scheduling. So I'm sure they're trying to hold out for that. All right. 24 model year Super Duty. Currently 21,088 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. The order banks are open up right now. Just to kind of break down some things for you, King Ranch, there's 16% of the orders in the order bank have the King Ranch trim. That's 3,374 orders. The capacity is 4% on that. So that's going to be a struggle. Platinum as well, 22% of the orders in the order bank are platinum, which is 4,639 with a capacity of 5%. Limited is 14% of the orders, 2,952 with 2% capacity. And the high output 6.7 liter engine is 56% of the orders, or 11,809 with a capacity of only 20% on that. Actually, it's 19.5%. I rounded up. Some other things that you want to stay away from that are constrained is your tonneau covers, your twin panel moonroof, the optional spray and bed liner, the fifth wheel. It says fifth wheel. I'm assuming that's the prep kit. And then the 19.5-inch BSW Continental tire. That's the one I believe that is on a lot of your dualies. Anyway, so there you go. So those are a struggle. And somebody can do the math, but if you add up the King Ranch Platinum Limited, those three together, 7, 8, 9, 10. I mean, you're looking at half of the orders are for those platinum, those luxury trim levels. So, all right, they scheduling for this week at Kentucky Truck Plant. They're scheduling for the weeks of, it says 3/25 through April 15th, and then at Ohio for the week of April 15th. And then they're still requiring a lot of dealers. They required us as well to put in some 6.8 liter gas engine orders without the heavy duty the standard heavy duty alternator and the fifth wheel gooseneck hitch prep package. So they're still looking for those orders. They made us put like 20 of those in. So they're having dealers put those in. Anyway, let's see what else. Also, it says we encourage the use of 85F tough bed spray and bed liner at a rate of 28 to 32%. I usually tell you to leave that off. They're wanting, basically what's happening is they have a part of their plant that is down right now, or they're not at full capacity because they don't have spray and bed liners on their orders. So great job, guys, leaving them off your orders. But it sounds like to me, you probably could put some of it on, but I noticed it was a problem there. So I'd still guess, I'd still say leave them off. Limit availability for the F450 and F600 series. Also limit availability actually for all these options. Fuel tank, that's included with the 7.3 liter V8 engine. Also the XL, XLT, or Lariat pickup or chassis cab, F350, 450, 550, and 600s as well. I should say that, or the chassis cabs in the F350, 450, 550, and 600. Also the GBK frame, that's optional on the F350, two-wheel drive with the 7.3 liter diesel engine, and the 145-inch wheelbase, whether it be dually or single wheel. The 4x4 Dana axle option, that's optional on the F450, 550, and 600, as well as the two-wheel drive Dana axle on those same configurations. The rear axle, that's optional on the F450, 550 dually chassis cabs with the 6.7 diesel engine, and the 600 dually chassis cabs with the 7.3 liter engine. Also, option 64F, which is an 18-inch argent painted steel with the painted hub covers, center ornament, and all that. That's standard on the F350 single rear wheel regular cab. That's optional on the F350 XL. This is also the optional wheel on the XL for the 350. And then 64A, which is a 17-inch argent painted steel with the painted hub covers and center ornaments. That's standard on XL, F250, and F350. And then lastly, the 203-inch wheelbase fuel tank with a low sulfur diesel fuel. That's option 98L. So there you go. So there's some, I think that list is a little shorter than it was. So that's good news. So, all right, moving to the 24 model year F-150. There's currently 7,240 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. That number's going up because they didn't schedule last week. Order banks are open up right now, including job 2, so the Tremor as well as the Pro Access tailgate that we mentioned. The only really constraint on anything is the Lariat Black Appearance Package. The capacity is 12%, or there's 12% of the orders that have that on there, and 7% is the capacity. So I'd probably say maybe that, if anything, but I think you'd still be okay. Now, they are not scheduling this week. So their plan was to go ahead and schedule this week for job 2, but they still are not ready. So they're still holding that off. We talked last week about the onboard scales with the smart hitch will no longer be included in the tow haul package, but optional for you. So you want to make sure you add that option. It's option 86S on Lariat, King Ranch, Platinum, and Tremor orders. But you do have to have the tow haul package equipped. Don't forget that. We mentioned that last week. Also, the Tremor series is now available for retail ordering, stock ordering, and will be available on February 20th. That was last week. Guys, you need to update your notes. Also, the Pro Access tailgate is now included in the bed utility package on Lariat, King Ranch, Platinum, and Tremor 402A. Stock orders with the tow haul package will be converted from job 1 to job 2 without the onboard scales. In retail orders with the tow haul package will be converted from job 1 to job 2 with the onboard scales. So those had retail orders, they don't need to remember to put that on there. Ford says they're going to take care of it, but dealers, you might want to check with your dealer, make sure that it did get converted, because I've seen that not always happen. So anyway, we're going to talk about F-150 later. They're being shipped out, but we'll talk about that if you're watching the live stream. That is. Otherwise, go check that live stream. 24 model year Transit. There's currently 6,053 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. Order banks are open up. They are not scheduling this week, so they did not give us any notes for the Transit to be aware of on that. So I think that's all we have here for scheduling for this week. So there you go.